The Walking Dead is a game played by adults and contains subject matter intended for a mature audience. This game explores themes and situations that may be uncomfortable or upsetting to some viewers. Our players have discussed their zones of comfort at length and have safety tools at their disposal. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dave, your humble host for today's episode 2 of The Walking Dead. And we've got a fantastic game master, Kurt, and friends to play. Before we get into the game, though, I want to remind folks that we are raising money. This is the final weekend of our big TTRPG mega stream in support of Games for Love. I'm going to pop a little bit of information into the chat for you. And if you're watching this in the future on our YouTube channel, there'll be a link down in the notes for you to go check out this awesome charity. But they essentially are able to bring hope and joy to children who are experiencing extended stay situations in hospitals by introducing gaming systems and games into their stays and donating as much as they can to make sure that kids can still have a good time and still focus on being kids even when they're healing and focusing on their health. So thank you to Games for Love for an awesome mission. And thanks to our partner, Phoenix Wacky, and all the people at Guild Superior who have been behind the scenes working hard to put this fundraiser together. We are closing in on our goal of $4,000. We can do this. Today and tomorrow are the last 2 days of the fundraiser, and we've got a lot of really, really good programming still on tap for y'all, including, I'm going to put the schedule up here. We have today is The Walking Dead. Tonight we've got a game of Blade Runner run by our very own Bleak Season. Thank you, Bleak, for that. It's going to be fun. We've got Darling Creepshow, Eric Mona, Crombie, and myself playing in that one. And then, and I've got a graphic for that to throw up there. Hey, there's the teaser. There's the promo. Beautiful. Come on over tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, and check that out. Get goofy with us tomorrow. Seeds of Destruction, run by our very own Io Shiv, and a crazy cast of astral travelers, let's say. It's going to be very, very fun. I'm super excited. We have a very weird party of characters that we're going to be playing. So you'll definitely want to check in for that. That will be the final stream of this fundraising effort. And then tomorrow night, Phoenix Wack and I will be giving away, we'll be drawing winners for the grand prize giveaways. It's going to be absolutely epic. We've got a lot of great sponsors out there. You can see some of them on the screen right here. It's going to be fun. We're going to give away a lot of stuff, including a year's subscription to World Anvil, a bunch of gift certificates for Phoenix Dice, some hard copies of Dragon Bang from I said it again, Dragon Bang, from our friends at Free League Games. I've got something. There's something going on in there. There's something. We've got minis from Hero Forge. We've got bundles from Trollord Games. We've got all kinds of stuff. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. Come on by tomorrow, Sunday evening, I think 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern for that. That'll be over on Phoenix Wacky's channel. And if you have if you can do it, if you've got the means, there we go. If you got the means, we highly recommend that you donate just a little bit to the effort. We have some giveaways, which we'll talk about later at the break, that we'll be giving away during the stream today, at the end of the stream. So every $5 that you donate gives you a chance to win both today and tomorrow evening for the big grand prize giveaway. We are looking at $3,385. Techie Woman, thank you so much for the $15 donation. You know, that brings me over to this page here. That is either a useful item or a hindrance. It's up to you, my friend, Techie Woman. You have earned that decision point. How will you choose? Will you choose to help the party, or will you choose to hurt the party?
I mean,
don't know.
it could
Choose
matter. It could
It
matter
could
since
really
we're just
matter.
now starting. So,
Choose wisely.
Yep.
so
Yeah. Please help
And
us.
speaking of starting, without further ado, Kurt, I'm going to hand it over to you, sir, to take it away.
A useful item. Very
Useful
well.
item.
All right, friends. Welcome to part 2 of The Walking Dead. First and foremost, warning. This game contains depictions of graphic violence, graphic language, and things that are generally going to make people uncomfortable in many cases. It is the land of the walking dead, where dead people eat live people. That's just a fact. This is a game of betrayal, brutality, hope, and redemption. And with all of that comes the entire gamut of emotions. All of our players are well versed in the themes and tropes of this particular game. We have safety precautions in place, utilizing the color method that I will be keeping a close eye on. But all that to be said, if graphic depictions of gore or things and situations that are adult in nature, and I don't necessarily mean sex, just adult in nature, are a problem for you or whatnot, this is your one and only warning. Viewer discretion is advised. When last we left our group of survivors, their home, well, what they had known to be home, was burning to the ground. It had been the target of an assault of the Mortis cult, a group of individuals who had banded together, coming up from Florida, pillaging and raiding town after town after town, what appeared to be crushing any semblance of hope. Rumors had reached the town before the cult had got there of these individuals, so the town knew of them. But that didn't stop the onslaught. Seemingly able to control and or drive the walkers into the city, our heroes were able to make it out with a few other survivors by the skin of their teeth. Ducking out and hiding out in one of the safe havens that Buchanan was aware of, difficult decisions were made. Some choices happened, and the fallout of those choices is being felt. They gathered together what they could, cobbled it together, put as much fuel as they could into the van, and took off into the night in the hopes of finding safe refuge at Greenhaven, a town about 100 miles north that they had some dealings and trade with, but they were not overly welcome, for lack of a better term. We join them now in the van. They're the only ones awake. The rest of them are kind of piled in, sleeping. It's the middle of the night. They're 2 days into their drive, about 4 hours from their destination, because the roads are packed with destroyed cars, walkers. The route is a little slow, but you've got wheels and you've got fuel. It's just after midday into the evening. Sun is setting, and by your recollection, you've got about 3 hours before you'll be to Greenhaven. The kids have asked again about their father, though Dale has done his best to console them and whatnot. The other survivors are looking at Sam and Dr. Victus, knowing that they were the last ones to interact with him, believing what they had said, that he was in fact bitten, but they don't actually know. At this point, the tight bond between Buchanan and McReady has begun to become strained. both trusting and distrusting each other at the same time, they all still hold on to hope. Victus having dropped a major, for proverbial familial bomb in McGreedy's lap, they still have to figure out what to do with that information. And with that, the wheel is yours. Who's driving?
I think I probably usually don't drive just because being, the main gun guy, I would be like literally riding shotgun. So it probably wouldn't be me unless asked specifically to do so.
Okay.
I'll take a shift riding. I don't mind.
All right.
I think Samantha is doing her best to, at this point, not make eye contact with like the children or even some of the other survivors, just because she's feeling, that weight of that moral decision, that quandary that she was faced with, and feeling probably conflicted, guilty on some levels, even though she knows that what she and Vade decided to do was the right decision.
Vay, the more you think about it, the more you come to believe and know that you heard Mia's voice. That was her voice. But the logical part of your brain can't help but wonder, what were the odds? What is the possibility of her actually having made it that long, let alone that she's still alive today?
I think because she had believed even McReady had passed away, that coming across him when her and Samantha were traveling probably is teetering her more towards the it's an absolute possibility, I don't care what anybody says mindset, because she had thought Zeke was dead in the first place anyway. So she found one. Why wouldn't she be able to find the other? It's a very dangerous mindset for her to be in, because it's sort of shifted to the take care of everybody and make sure we all get to the one place, to the they think I'm crazy and aren't going to believe me because Zeke already gave me a hard time, so I'm going to go with or without them, which puts her in a position to make probably some not so smart decisions.
That's fair.
In to come in the future.
Well, Dale and Melissa begin to dole out the food, feeding the kids. Dale brings it to, he's like, we've got to find somewhere for them. The road is no place for kids. What's the plan? Are we going to hope that Green Hill takes them in? What are we going to do?
Yeah. Well, everything's changed now, Dale. Nobody knows what's going to happen. We just have to feign optimism or something. Yeah, we hope that they'll take us in. But you know what they say about hope? You can hope in one hand and shit in the other one and see which one fills up first.
He just kind of lets out a sigh, looks back. Yeah. A couple of hours pass by. Darkness begins to set in. You're almost there and you see the sign for Greenhaven. a makeshift sign, one that many have thought a naive of them to post their location where it was at, but they still managed to hold their own. As you pull off of the road down an old dirt road, you come to what amounts to a large farm initially. Past the large farm, you see where a brand new, what appeared to be a brand new housing development was starting to be built. You were seeing it all over, these almost subdivision level housing areas just popping up out of nowhere. This was one such area, but it was remote enough from the neighboring town that it was defensible. The farm abandoned, nothing there. You roll up to the gates of Greenhaven. No sound can be heard whatsoever. It's quiet. No one stands at the gate. No one in the towers. And no sounds of movement. Just the rattle of your engine.
Buchanan, pull. Maybe we should pull over. This is Samantha, like kind of like leaning over your shoulder. Maybe we should pull over. This doesn't look. I'm getting weird vibes right now. This feels wrong.
Don't like that it's so quiet.
Yeah.
So,
McCready.
Yeah.
McCready.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the tactician here. What's your read?
Yeah. No, it was clearly Creedy was lost in thought and sort of didn't even realize where you were, which is not like him. He's usually like when he's on, he's usually very on, and he kind of snaps out of the gate. Hold on. There's no one at the gate?
Nobody in the towers either.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good. Turn the van around and then back up a little bit more towards it, but keep the nose pointed away from this place.
I'll do exactly that.
Then when we pull back up, I'm gonna hot check the shotgun. Like, all right, everyone stay put. If they start shooting, hightail it out of here. I'm gonna roll out very carefully out of the truck, check everything, make sure there's no one sort of ambushed out somewhere, and then I'm going to what I want to do is I want to go up to the gate and see if it's locked, if there's a padlock or anything like that, or if a lock's broken. I kind of want to get a sense of that. So I'm going to go, but I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to stick to the side of the truck, look around, and then go very, the gun not up or anything, just sort of down, non-threatening kind of thing.
Before you leave, as you're kind of like poking your head out, McCready, Samantha's just going to like put her hand on your shoulder and just be like, I don't think you should go alone. I think there's safety in numbers. If there's people here, maybe they'll respond if there's a couple of us and look, I'm willing to go with you. They're not going to shoot a doctor. They're not going to kill a doctor.
They don't know you're a doctor, and the biggest problem we risk running into here is a sniper, and if two of us go out there, that just means two of us die. I'll be all right. I'm just gonna go see if the door's unlocked or not, and then we can figure out what we want to do from there.
What if you don't come back?
Drive the hell on. They have a saying back in the Corps, when shit went down like that. Fido. Fuck it, drive on. And with that, I'm gonna roll out and go and very careful. Like I'm putting caution before anything else. Double checking everything, all the angles, and approaching. So I'm just gonna go check the gate.
As you go up to the gate, there's not a padlock, but you do see that on the outside, there is a very hastily wrapped chain around the door handle.
So on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of tracks are in front of are there fresh tracks, or there car tracks, or
There is a couple of there. You see a set of tire tracks, and you see several feet, but they're moving away from the location.
I want to, last thing I want to do before I turn and go back, and this is, feel free to do what you want with this, but I kind of want to just sit there and just sort of soak in the place for a moment and kind of let my, years of being out in the bush as a soldier and that intuition kind of just try to get a gut feeling.
As you stand there for a moment, letting the quiet wash over you, honing in on your ability to listen, you begin to hear what you didn't hear before. Slowing your heart, focusing. A slight shuffle. Then another slight shuffle.
Direction.
Other side of the door.
All right, I'm going to back away, keeping an eye on it, but I'm going to back towards the truck. I'm going to get it. All right, drive off.
Drives off.
Are we not getting out? We're at Greenhaven. What's going on, McGreedy? What's up?
Yeah, Greenhaven ain't so green anymore. I'll let us kind of get away a little bit, and then place was padlocked from the outside. They're trying to keep something in, and I'm pretty sure I heard some wonkers in there. So they're probably, I don't know how it turned out, but footsteps, bunch of them leading out. So they probably got some sort of breakout or infestation from inside, and they just pull it out. And, when someone writes, don't open dead inside on a door, I don't open that door.
Do you think it was the cult? Do you think they were here too?
To be honest, I don't know, because I don't see how an invasion comes from the outside and then people manage to trap everyone in and leave. I think it's more likely that something started on the inside, but without going in. We're not going to get an answer to that, but the point's kind of moved. The fact is that the place is not a haven.
Buchanan sort of smacks the steering wheel in frustration. It's like, fuck's sake.
So much for that hope, huh?
Okay. We need a plan. We need to figure out somewhere for the night. A plan.
I'm going to look around and pull out a map for the area and pass it back to Sam and Vay. Can you two take a look at this and see if there's anything else around here that might serve for us?
Looks like there's a town up the road. Midland. Seems like any other cookie cutter town as far as the map's concerned. Another highway stop. Who knows?
We heard
Midland,
anything
you said?
about this town?
You're not sure if it's a live town or a dead town, but you do know that it's a town, and at a minimum, you can find shelter. Just might be a little work involved.
Shelter and fuel. How's the fuel looking, Buchanan?
I was just going to ask him that same thing.
Buchanan, you figure you've got exactly enough fuel to get there, but if the situation isn't the greatest when you get there, you're not sure you're going to be able to get any farther than that.
It's not great, but it'll get us to the town. After that, we're gonna have to think of a plan.
Any other gas stations along the way?
By this point, whether or not a gas station has fuel is extremely hit or miss.
Yeah, it's better than, Look, When I was in Baghdad, there was a guy I served with, Torrance. He was from Midland. Said there's a great hot dog joint, just downtown next to the park.
Hate to burst your bubble there, McCready, but I'm guessing that there's no hot dog joint next to the park anymore.
Well, you know.
We do have a can of Vienna sausages, though, and she hands it to you.
Oh, God, no. Thanks. Appreciate it.
It's a texture thing.
Yeah. I think of a comment, but I don't make it. Vienna sausages. Well, it's that or fucking wander around till we run out of gas. So we might as well run out of gas going somewhere then.
Well, we've been on foot before. This isn't the first time we've been on the run.
No, but it's the first time we're on the run with children, Sam.
I know.
Bingo.
I was just about to say that. It raises the stakes, that's for sure.
Well, let's get people fed while we can, while we're in the truck. Get the kids fed first, and then the adults, and then that way if we have to run, one, we don't have as much stuff to carry with us, and two, we'll at least have full bellies.
Right.
I would also just for the sake of it, we would have made sure to kind of spread the gear through people so that not just one person's carrying, but definitely kind of been smart about spreading the gear where the most important stuff we would have put like amongst us and amongst like other people that we really trust.
Okay.
You know, and then spread around the rest of the stuff so that if one person goes down and they're carrying everything, we don't lose everything.
Samantha's going to grab a couple of cans of the food and crack them open and hand them to some of the kids first. Dig into a bag that she carries and pull out a couple of like bent spoons. You're gonna need your energy and strength for this.
The kids dig greedily at the can, both of them. Very hungry, but eating. It's nothing great, just some green beans, but they're eating it, consuming it. And with that, the van putters to life again and pulls off down the road. Into the night, you start to see several hours later the town of Midland. Now, there's a rest stop just off the highway. And you're faced with a choice. Continue on or wait till dawn. Maybe use this rest stop. And then go into Midland. Or try and make Midland at night.
In terms of safety, it's probably best for us to stop at this rest stop outside just in case Midland's overrun. This is a smaller area, easier for us to stake out and you know, and if needed.
How
smaller
many miles? How many miles are we from Midland if we're at the rest stop?
You're about 10 miles away from Midland.
Okay. So too far to hoof it and go do a recon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea, Vabe. I agree. I think we should stay here for the night. Are there any lights coming? I mean, we wouldn't be able to see lights from Midland from here, even if there were a few on.
No,
Okay.
probably not.
Yeah. All right.
This rest stop, though, does have a couple of lights on. Part of those, it's still somehow tied into the power grid, or at least a functioning power grid. It was part of the green initiative of North Carolina, where all the lights were hooked to solar panels. And as you pull in, You realize there's a few walkers wandering around the parking lot, several cars abandoned, a restroom area, an information center, and park benches. What you and I would all come to know and appreciate every day as a simple travel stop. Grab some snacks, go to the bathroom, stretch your legs, walk the dog. Only now it's little more than a graveyard. The buzzing of the lights above your head, a few walkers stumbling around, looking more emaciated than others. These ones obviously haven't fed in quite some time. Abandoned vehicles, abandoned corpses, glass shattered, park benches broken. You arrive to the closest thing that you can call to safety. What a joke that is, right?
I think
Rest stop. Let's see if you get any rest.
it might be a good idea to see if we can clear out some of these walkers, yeah?
Yeah.
By your count at this point, there's only about 4 walkers. Not a lot. But generally where there's one, there's 2. And where there's 4, there's 10. But you feel confident. You're fed. You're mostly rested. More importantly, you need this. You set about your grisly task, clearing out these walkers. We don't need to roll for it. You're confident enough. You have the numbers. You know what to do. These first 4 cleared out, brought in. You guys make your way inside to the travel center. Most of the windows have been boarded up, but a couple of them, the boards have broken. The doors need to be secured. But it's a roof over your head, and it has some power. Most importantly, working plumbing.
Oh shit.
Literally.
Yes, shit. Sink shower as well.
That's
So we'll go about Akiri is going to focus on getting some defenses up, boarding up some stuff, grab a couple able-bodied people and go around and barricade some stuff, make sure there aren't any surprise walkers hiding around, etc., etc.
The actual travel center itself is fairly clear. Now, earlier, someone had redeemed a useful item. That useful item that you are going to have, is I need each of you to roll a d6 for me, please.
We need dice for this?
Oh yeah, that's a thing. It is a dice-based role-playing game.
Got a 5 on the
You
night.
just used the Nightbot to roll your d6
That's right.
because you didn't bring any dice to your table.
No, I have dice. I just thought
I didn't
it'd be
have any
fun.
dice.
I rolled a 3.
Look at all this. Look, I have all the dice in the world. I'm a
3.
hardcore Shadowrun player, man. I got D6s.
Got D6s
I rolled
with
the
D6s.
number possible on a d6. It's a 1.
Wow. That's impressive. So the number that you rolled is the number of snacks or snack type item that you're able to secure from one of the various vending machines that is around the travel center. Each one will count as a food item. But your choice. We all know that the travel centers have the greatest snacks around. They always have your favorites. Bag of M&Ms, some Funyuns.
Bounty.
I don't know what that is. Must be Canadian.
Coconut chocolate bar, man. It's
Yes, I know what that is.
Mm.
Yeah, Commonwealth. Yeah, Commonwealth.
God save the king.
Yeah.
Lord.
I think Samantha's going to spend her time making sure that the families, the children especially, are getting settled in, checking on people's wounds to make sure that we're not running into any infections, or if there is, she'll try to address any wounds that she runs into, but she's definitely in caretaker mode at this point.
Oddly enough, you go to check in on everybody. They're hesitant at your presence. They recognize that, you're the closest thing they have to a doctor. And not many people have anything much more than a scrape, a bump, a bruise, or whatnot. But you realize as you're there, they never want to be alone with you. That there is a duality that has started to take hold amongst the rest of the group.
She feels it. It feels cold. She feels hollow inside as she's attending to these children. All she can think about is how she had to put down their father, Ernve. But she still channels her best bedside manner because she knows that she has a function and she can still help people, even though they may not be comfortable with what happened. It's gonna be okay. Let's see. Let's see this. Kind of looks at some of the wounds and does what she needs to do.
McCready, as you stand watch, looking out, making sure the perimeter's secure, going through the motions, falling back on that regiment that has kept you alive, falling back on that mindless routine. You see Mia in your mind's eye, but you don't see her as an adult. You see her as a child, 7, 8 years old, the prime of her life, smiling, the sun's beating down on her, playing outside. And you thought you lost your little girl. And now Vay's trying to say that she's alive and that she hurt her. One of the discerning factors that divided you two has now become your common goal. But she can't really be alive after all this time, can she?
I think as opposed to Vay, who takes the fact that she thought I was dead to be, positive proof that means Mia can be alive also. I think the other way around, that there was so little chance that one of them would still be alive, that having found one, then that basically brings the chances of the other one being alive down to 0. But just like he's never believed in ghosts or aliens, but he always felt that if someone showed him one, he'd be like, well, yeah, of course they exist. He kind of also has that in the back of his mind if he doesn't think she's alive, but if he sees her alive, he's going to be like, of course. So he's very conflicted. It probably kind of plays on his mind a bit, and he's having difficulty focusing on his task, which is making him a little angry because he knows he has a job to do and he can't be sitting there thinking about what may or may not be. And so he's probably getting a little angry on the side, and he's going to take, I rolled 5 earlier and I got like 5 snacks out of the machine. So he's going to take those and go around to the kids in the group and hand them out to the kids. I'll grab these chocolate bars and these Skittles and whatnot and go and hand them out to the kids and tell them, how brave they were today, and how much of an inspiration they are, and to keep being that way and to keep being strong because they were so good. They get a little reward, and I'll hand them out the chocolates and whatnot.
As you are all there and you're on guard, your shift is up. Cannon, you're on shift, keeping watch. During your watch, you see a figure just at the edge of the light. Pack, walking stick. You see him moving, darting from car to car, approaching. He looks left, he looks right. You can't quite make out his features. He's looking little more than a silhouette to you at this point. But he's by himself. Of that, you're certain. And he's slowly approaching, holding out his walking stick as nothing little more than a spear, for lack of a better term. You don't see a weapon on him. Not at this range, anyway. As you stand there observing him, you see him pull out a small, slender metal stick. You see him slide it between a window, pull it up on one of the cars. And the door swings open. You see him pull back for a moment, jab his stick in, jab it out. The body falls out. And you see him start to look like he's rummaging around through the car, trying to pop the trunk open, seeing what he can find. What do you do?
I'm going to keep watching what he's doing. I'm going to try and give one of the other people's attention. Maybe Sam, maybe Vay. If McCready's still around, try and get someone's attention. If I can.
We'll say at that point, we'll say Vay walks by.
I'll just basically be like, point in the direction of the car.
And you said he's clearly by himself. Like, she's gonna look out and see and watch where he's pointing.
Yeah,
like,
no,
clearly.
he's clearly, like, from what you can see, he's clearly by himself.
Is he moving in the direction of our van?
It looks like he's steadily going from vehicle to vehicle, seeing if there's anything that he can salvage. You yourself have been in similar predicaments.
Right.
His movements, his pattern feels familiar to you. Not that you know him, just that you know what he's about.
We've done this before. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll drop my pack by Sam's feet where she's probably resting. I'll kick Zeke in his boots, and then I'll just make sure I have my pistol in my waistband, and I'm gonna head out actually and check on him because he could have vital information to us about this area. Maybe he's come from the city that we're headed to and could give us some information there. And he might be somebody that's useful to us anyways, right? So I'd like to check on him and make sure he's not scouting for the death cult that's chasing us down to kill us, because that would be fucking terrible.
Yeah, that would be bad, wouldn't it?
Vay, before you go, take McCready.
I did. I kicked him in the boot.
Stood right here,
I
guys.
figured he'd know.
I love that everybody's just passing over Buchanan, even though he's standing right there with a gun.
It's not.
Look,
No,
Buchanan,
Buchanan-
you're a great lookout. Just keep looking
No,
out.
yeah. It's not about passing over Buchanan, really. It's he holds a chunk of knowledge within himself, being part of leadership of this area, that he's not somebody we can afford to lose in a midnight scuffle, right? So I'm going to kick the person that is trained in this sort of recon ops and keep our doctor.
You gonna kick the guy who's expendable? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You're kicking the guy who's expendable?
Partially
In my
expendable.
book, in this moment, he is the most expendable. He's been avoiding me all day.
Oh my God. Spoken like a true ex-wife.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, this is my alimony. He's going to come out here and we might die. Like, it is what it is, right?
Wow. You're
He's,
muted, Chris.
Every divorced man in the audience right now just went, fuck.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah, you kick me out. I'm like, what? And okay, once I ascertain the situation, I'll go up to Buchanan, and I gave you my shotgun when you took. I would have given you the shotgun. So, what's he been doing out there? Just going car to car?
Yeah, scavenging.
Well, he might have
I don't trust
Overwatch, so we'll watch him. You watch behind him. See if anybody else is coming up, and if you see anything moving, you give us a yell.
You're gonna do take him out or capture him, bring him in?
No, we'll see. I don't know about bringing him in. We're gonna try to play like there's just maybe the two of us here.
That's a smart move. Don't let them know that we've got kids and the rest of us in here.
Mostly, I want to keep him away from our truck. So,
yeah.
If anything's going off,
I'm
if
worried.
he accept a trade, I'll just give him Faye, and he can go off on his own.
There's another can of Vienna sausages if you want to give him those.
Yeah, no one wanted those, right?
No.
Yeah,
I'll take the Vienna sausages and one of the snacks that we had left over, and I'll put those in my pocket.
Hey, too, before you go, I was just gonna say, before you go, just be aware he could be a distraction for a larger group.
Yeah.
Be careful.
So you'll need to be watching the road and the tree line. As we start heading out, I'm gonna take my pistol out, and I'm gonna put it in my pocket with my hand in it. And I'm gonna tell Vay, I'm gonna stand 2 steps behind you, 1 step to the right. You talk to him. If anything goes down, you throw yourself backward into the left, and then you start crawling for the center, right?
Yeah, it's just like we're practicing for those Iron Man runs we used to do when we got along once upon a time 100 years ago.
Just focus on what's in front of you here, right? Like, we've been distracted all day about a bunch of shit, and this is the last moment we need to be distracted.
Well, no shit, Dick Tracy. You're talking to me like I have zero idea what it's like to operate with you, right? Like, I'm not an idiot, contrary to your belief.
I never fucking said you were an idiot or anything, even remotely.
Well, you didn't have to say it. You talk to me like I'm an idiot. Like,
no, I talk to you like I talk to everybody else around these parts.
Well, stop.
These situations.
I'm not Buchanan. I'm not your platoon mates. I'm not your friends. I'm not any of those people. Stop talking to me like I'm an idiot. I have a PhD in immunology.
He doesn't say anything. He's like, he knows at this point there's no winning the argument. He's just like, no. Let's just be careful.
God, I swear to God, I just heard my actual wife right then and there. I ain't one of your soldiers. I have a goddamn master's degree. Shut up.
That was a PhD. That was a PhD. Don't.
Yeah, don't sell her short. Ego. Hopefully this scavenger is a marital counselor.
Right?
They're gonna need it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
when we go out, so I'll let you do the talking one. When we go out, I'm keeping an eye on him. I'm going to trust the others back there to keep an eye on the tree line and sort of behind. So I'm really just kind of going to be focused on him. And
have you left the shotgun with me yet?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Okay.
No, I left you a shotgun. If I go down, you might as well keep the shotgun.
Yeah.
As you walk out, so you're are you going to be the pair of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to have you make a roll. I'm going to have you make a ranged attack roll. All right. This is not an actual attack, right? This is a moment where you see them, they see you. And because you guys are both sporting guns, right? I'm having you use ranged attack roll to basically draw your weapon, right? Or are you walking out with weapons drawn and trying to surprise him?
No, like I said, I have my gun in my hand, but in my jacket pocket.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. Mine's in my waistband, and I'd like my hands to be like clearly visible. Like I want to communicate with him on a non-hostile, like in a non-hostile front. I don't want to walk out guns blazing. That's never ever.
All right. As you walk out, you hear crickets. You hear the sounds of the nighttime, which, oddly enough, is somewhat reassuring because you know that you don't hear those noises when walkers are about. As you come up, the man spooks, jumps out, turns around, backs off, holds his hand out, right? Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Who are you? And you see him.
Hey.
You see him hold out something that looks like a gun, but it looks like a toy at the same time.
Hey, we're not trying to hurt you or anything, stranger. We actually just were wondering if you had some information. Are you hungry? You look hungry. You know.
You got food. You have food?
Yeah, something like that. Are you hungry? Like, can you put your hands up? Show me that you're not going to shoot me. I'll toss mine up too.
Oh, him. What about him? What are you doing, guy? Huh? What are you doing? And for the first time, you get a look at this guy, right? At this distance, he's wearing a tan overcoat. He has a makeshift backpack with different things attached to the outside, very much scavenged everything, right? His walking stick is about the nicest looking thing that he has, right? As it looks like it's been very sanded down, polished type wood that you would find at the truck stop walking stick, barrel. We've all seen them, right? And he's holding out his firearm, or what you can assume to be a firearm. Well, McCready, upon look, you catch the indistinguishable glint of orange off of it, and you recognize this is little more than a flare gun.
So I'm gonna move my hand slowly out of my thing. It's all right, buddy. And in one hand, I got the sausages and the chocolate bar, and I'm just gonna hand them over to V. It's all right, buddy. No stress here. We're all friends.
His eyes immediately dart to the food. And he's just like, I don't know if I know anything, and people don't ever just ask for information. You see him looking around past you, behind you, like he's actively looking for an ambush, right? And he starts to look, and he's,
Talk to him, V.
How many of you are there?
Just us. We're not from here. We're from the south, and we're trying to find someplace safe, and we were headed towards the town, but we didn't know if it's overrun. So actually, the information we just want to know is if maybe you've been up to Midland or know anything about Midland.
No, I'm trying to make my way to Midland. I'm sorry, it's been about 3 weeks on the road on foot, and between the road and the tracks and the woods, it's just and you look at him, right? And he is he's a very dark complected man, right? Looks like he hasn't slept in days, or if he has, it's been very, very minimal. I'm Malcolm. He pats his chest. I'm Malcolm. And he looks at his flare gun, laughs, cracks it open, and you don't even see that there's not even a flare in it. Right? Just, precautions, right? And he stuffs it back in his coat pocket or whatnot. No, I was just looking for a place to stay. I heard Midland was still somewhat safe and there were people there, but past that, I don't know. I ain't got nothing.
I'll reach the can of Viennas and the chocolate bar out towards him. Well, that's the direction we're headed to. Whereabouts are you coming from, if you don't mind? Oh, I'm Dr. Victus, by the way. When I reach out, I'll offer my hand to shake too with the food.
It's it's good. It's good. And he shakes it, takes the hand, takes it, and he's just like, no problems, none whatsoever. And he like tucks his stick up underneath his arm, and he cracks the can of the Vienna sausages and just starts throwing them in his mouth as quickly as he can. So I haven't. It's been a couple of weeks and haven't caught nothing in the woods, and it's just.
All right, buddy, take your
Thank
time.
you.
You don't want to choke on that. Take your time.
Thank you. And you just see him like munching down. Sorry, my name's excuse me.
No, right? You said your name's
Morgan. Sorry, Morgan.
Morgan. It's good to meet you, Morgan. Hey, you're
why are you going to Midland?
well, our home was overrun in the night, and we were able to make it out. And so we're just traveling for someplace safe. We had heard of Greenhaven, but when we went by there, it was, I believe, how did you put it, McReady? Greenhaven ain't so green anymore.
Yeah, but now that I've had time to think about it, I wish I would have said Greenhaven ain't much of a haven anymore, but you can't take those back.
Yeah, there was. I was at Greenhaven for a couple of nights. Raiders came. They punched a hole in their walls, and walkers got in, and I got out. I guess I got out with a handful of other people, and we got separated and stranded. And I've just been trying to make my way up to Midland, but I got turned around out here. I got lost, and I just didn't know where to go. I ended up going farther south than going north, and here I am now, and found you fine folks.
You said Raiders.
Yeah.
Did it seem like that's interesting, because that's kind of the issue that we had when we got overrun. I might be asking on a long shot here. Maybe you didn't see all of it through the chaos, but did there happen to be a woman, an ominous looking crazy lady on the back of a truck watching it all happen in the distance?
No, these are just, I don't know, these are just a bunch of your run-of-the-mill rednecks. They got more teeth than sense kind of thing. They just happen to have more guns.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Well, it's good to meet you, Morgan. You're headed to Midland. We're headed to Midland. I mean,
I'm just hoping to.
Promise you're not going to do anything shady. You could come and stay with us. We could travel.
I'm like, I try not to react too badly, but you can sense my stare behind you. Like, the fuck?
He's just like, that'd be great.
Yeah, a couple rules here, Morgan. First thing that's going to happen is you're going to put everything you have on you, including in your bag and on you, on the ground. And we're going to step back so we're not going to rob you, but I need to see everything that you're carrying. If you have any kind of weapon, I'm going to let you stash them somewhere safe out here, but you're not coming inside with them. Once we get inside, you're going to be able to wash up, and you're going to be able to get some medical help if you need it. If you, in any way, shape, or form, start acting out weird, start acting out crazy, if I can, I will simply kick you out. But if you fucking overwhelm me, I will shoot you in the head. We good?
I'm appreciative of the food that you provided, but I'm not coming off of my only means of defense. I'll happily show you what I have, but I'm not parting from it, from my immediate vicinity.
All right. Well, how about you show me what you have, and we'll decide at that point. Okay.
I've got this. Right, he holds up his stick, and he pulls out the flare gun, and he's just like, I got that, and he kind of pulls his pack down and sits down and opens it up, right? And inside you see various cooking equipment. You see a knife and a hatchet, and then but like stuff you'd use for like camping.
Yeah.
Like you'd see like camping type stuff. And you see an odd kind of mesh wire basket, or not mesh,
Like-
but odd wired basket.
Would I
Like a
recognize
fish
that?
basket,
What's that?
like a fish holding basket, like you would
No,
dangle in the
no.
river to hold your.
Like how do I put it? Like in the 80s, it was common to have these things hanging, and you'd put fruit in them.
Oh,
right?
like a fruit basket.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's like a metal one, right? Like you'd probably find it like a grocery store or something.
Okay. Is that it, or?
And he's like, yes. And you see a couple of extra shirts and another set of boots.
Yeah. So look, this is the deal I'm willing to make you. You got that thing to unlock the car. So if you want to unlock the car, you can put some of the stuff in there. You can get it back tomorrow. You can take one of those weapons with you. Choose one and take it with you. You can take the rest of your stuff with you. But anything else that's sharp or deadly, you leave in the truck here, the car here, and you can get it tomorrow morning.
It's just my Jimmy stick. That's literally all it is. It's literally a pop lock Jimmy stick.
Yeah, no, so I'm saying you have it. So that's cool.
Yeah.
So you can log this car, and then tomorrow you can get your shit back from it. You can take one weapon with you. Leave the rest of the weapons in here. You can take the rest of your stuff and one weapon with you. But I'm saying keep your Jimmy stick so that way you know we're not going to come and get your stuff in the middle of the night.
He puts the flare gun with no flares in there and shuts the door. He has his stick.
I mean, I get it.
Knives and hatchets and shit like that. Like that's what I want him to
Yeah,
do.
he's not seeing those as weapons, right? He's seeing them as tools. So it's not for a minute, and he goes, and he pulls out the hatchet, sets it in there, and he pulls out the he puts out the small little folding knife and sets it in there, and he locks the door and shuts it, and he puts the Jimmy stick inside of his coat.
No.
Well,
we're gonna go in there. First thing, there are more people in there, so don't fucking freak out. There's a group of us, but there's a doctor in there, and there's some functioning plumbing, so you can wash up, clean up, get some medical help. Don't make me shoot you.
He nods and walks in.
As we're walking, I'm gonna whisper to V. Every fucking time you gotta fucking take the fucking strays home.
Well, I brought you home, didn't I? And she'll just keep walking.
I was fucking housebroken.
By your own account.
Hey, my mama raised me well.
Yeah, so we'll just take Morgan in.
Because we take strays.
Hey, he could be helpful.
Yeah.
You don't know.
He comes in and he looks around everybody and he kind of smiles and nods. And he looks like he finds a spot on the floor and he looks around. Y'all don't have anything more to eat, do you?
Fuck's this?
I'll give him my candy bar that I picked up out of the machine. It's not a big one. It's just an almond joy, just those two little pieces in there. But the almonds got protein in them, so it'd give you a little extra fuel.
He smiles and kind of nods his little bit. Allergic to almonds, actually, but thank you. Swell up the throat right away.
Just points again at the guy and goes, "What the fuck is this?"
He kind of he holds his stick and grabs his pack and he extends a hand and he's Morgan.
Right? What the fuck do you want?
They were nice enough to allow me to come stay with y'all.
Sit there, keep your mouth shut. I need to have a word with you two.
You can have a word with me all you want. You might be signing his paycheck, but you don't sign mine.
Fine. Creedy, whoever, we need to talk about this. Come on.
That was all her, man. You take her. I'm gonna stay here and watch our friend here. You work it out with her.
No, man, I'm not even scared one bit. Like I want to sit down and have a conversation with this man. I want to know where he's been, what his travels are like, what life was like in Greenhaven. I want to know things. I want to sit and talk to him. I don't care what your meeting's about.
I'm sure. Right.
I'm sure you thought of this, but we should probably check him for injuries before we do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check for see if he's been fucking bitten or something. Whatever.
Samantha just looks over at Vay and is like, she just mouths like, "What the fuck?" All right, Morgan, you said your name was?
Yeah.
You got any injuries that you want to tell me about before I find them?
He kind of like has this look on his face like, excuse me?
Are you bit? I'm saying, Morgan. Work with me here. It's been a long fucking day.
I think if I was bit, you'd probably know by this point.
Take off your jacket.
I can't do that.
Why not?
You are a very lovely woman, but it
Cut the
is
shit. I'm a
against my.
doctor, and I'm going to make sure that you're not bringing anything in here.
That's perfectly fine, but it is against my religion to undress myself before a woman. That is not my wife.
Fine, you can take your coat off in front of me.
Buchanan, can you deal with this?
Yeah.
Take him in the men's
Look,
and just give him a
it's
once
fine.
over.
I'll just pat Sam on the shoulder, like, "Hey, I'll deal with it. Like, you guys just go." I'm feeling conflicted in the way that my friends, like, I care about the people around me, but there's just like this part of Vay who, through all of the nonsense around her, she cares about people and in vibes, right? And the man doesn't give off any sort of vibes that make her feel like he's a danger, and she's capable of handling herself, and everybody's just coming at him, and it's overwhelming her. Like she's feeling overwhelmed by everybody's like, "Hey, if you fuck around and do this thing, we're going to kill you." Like that's not, it doesn't sit comfortably.
Well, that's certainly not what Samantha's doing. Samantha is essentially trying to protect the group and make sure he's not injured. But she is like, what the fuck? Like, who's this?
Okay. So what do you wish to do?
Kick him over. That's fine.
You don't see anything, any bite marks or any wounds that aren't already healed on him.
He's clean. Yeah.
As you're looking him over or whatnot, right? Like a paper, like a bundle of paper falls from his pocket, right? And he hastily picks it up and shoves it in his pocket. He goes, I would like to be able to say thank you somehow. If you have any more food to share, I would like to do something for you as a way of thank you, possibly.
I'll just chuck one of the candy bars that I got into his lap. Like, there you
go. Thanks. And he sets it away. But do you have anything not quite sweets? He says, as he says that, you see him open up his pack, right? And he pulls out 3 small containers. And he flips the basket over and pulls out the pot, sets it down on top of the basket, and you see him light a match. Each one of these cups is a chemical fire. And he starts to heat up the pot. I don't know about you all, but I'm not particularly a fan of cold meals if I can help it.
You're like a chef or something?
He's implying that if you have canned food, he'll cook it for you.
Oh,
I think
We
I
have
got
a
a can
little
of
bit.
beans and
Yeah.
some tomato soup. Not much, but it would be nice to have something hot. I'm sure the kids would enjoy that as well.
It's a nice
A
gesture,
warm
Morgan.
meal.
He takes whatever canned food you offer him, right? And he does. He begins to cook it. And you see him produce as well, right? What looks like a small, like the 7 days a week pill case, right? Only inside, as he pops it open, right? It's little spices.
I
right?
knew it.
nice.
And he starts to put it in there, right? And after a short period, around you, everybody's morale begins to start to raise a little bit. As the scent of cooking food, not cold food, not something you hastily chow down on, right? But actual cooked food is coming from his little pot and his little chemical stove. And everybody around starts to feel a degree of ease. As the food is cooked, he pulls off his coat and sets his things to the side. McCready, you're noticing that he didn't exactly show you everything that was inside his bag.
Oh, I'm on to that. I don't see the point of getting involved in another argument or starting a bigger row at this point. And, as people seem to be kind of happy with what's going on, it would just sort of turn everyone against me. So I'm not going to say anything at this point, but I am going to. Basically, he's the only thing I care about in the world right now is this guy and keep an eye on him. So
he cooks food for you all, right? He makes pleasantries, this, that, or the other, whatnot, and he gets up from his pack and all of his equipment and stuff that's there, and he said, if it's all the same to you, and you see him pull out a clean shirt, I'm gonna go get freshened up. It's been a couple of days.
yeah, no problem. I'll come with you. I'll show you where it is.
Oh, thank you. And he leaves his stuff there, right? Trusting, and goes because he sees that V is there, and he's come to at least allow a temporary trust of V. And he goes and he follows you into the men's room, McCready.
Yep. I think there's a bit of running water left, so you can.
He turns it on, and he just kind of smiles as he looks. Small miracles, right?
Well, let me tell you, it's pretty incredible the things that I used to just not think about or not realize at all, and now they've become the sources of my greatest joys, like a little bit of running water, book of matches.
We appreciate the finer things, all the simple things we took for granted. And it's odd because you find yourself not missing it. Not missing the world the way that it was. Granted, everything around us is horrible. Everything is gone to hell. But there's also a degree of peacefulness in it.
Yeah, but it's the peacefulness that comes between shellings. When they've just carpet bombed your area and you somehow survive and you're sitting in that foxhole and you know that a couple hours from now there's going to be another one. It seems like heaven because the bombs aren't falling and your ears aren't splitting and people aren't dying around you and you're not choking on fumes and dust and smoke. But for all the comfort you take in it, there will be another shelling. And there will be another one after that, and another one after that, and another one after that. And they're probably going to increase in frequency and strength. So,
You're not wrong. As you see him like start to fill the sink up a little bit with water, and he kind of starts to splash it on his face or whatnot. And he just kind of looks at you like he looks at you and doesn't say, but you get the impression of the whole like, are you gonna watch me bathe? Are you gonna stand there?
Yeah,
And watch?
I'm just sitting there. I'm just standing there. I'm not gonna stare. But you gotta understand one thing, buddy. I don't know you. I mean, push comes to shove, I will totally put a bullet in your head and drop you down where you are if I have to. And it's not even going to keep me awake a millisecond, but I'd rather not have to do that. The people back there, they're all I have left. They're all I care about.
I'm aware. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I'm here to
understand that you're going to stop fucking being a pain in my ass, and you're going to accept that in order to earn our trust, it's going to take a little bit of time, and you're going to have to put a little bit of yourself in it. And right now, putting a little bit of yourself in it is going to require you shedding a little bit of dignity.
Is that why she hates you?
There's what?
You've got so much anger and so much hate in you that you project it out everywhere you go under the guise of safety and precaution.
Well, someone's fucking got to at this point in time. So look, it's really super easy, man. Like, we're happy to have you here, to share our food with you, to share the roof with you, to share this water with you. Really, it's not a problem. We're not going to roll you. We're not going to do anything about it. But the price for that is you do it the way I say you do it. And if you do not want that, you are absolutely welcome to take your stuff and go back out there. But if you want to stay here, and I advise that you do, because this here right now is that moment of peace between the shellings. And you can either stay here and enjoy it for what it's worth, run outside the foxhole and wave your arms out and hope the desert doesn't blow up around you.
He kind of smiles and chuckles. It's not the first time in my life I've had a man with a gun watching my every movement.
No, I figured.
Can't say it's the best times of my life, but a lot of times that misplaced judgment, that misplaced hate could be put to better use. Because the way I figure it, you're probably the best chance this group has at survival. Am I right? You're the man with the gun. You're the man with the training. You're the man who's kept them alive this whole time. But I'm just one man. And there's everything else outside those windows. But you're so focused on looking at a lone threat, perceived threat, in here of a man with no weapons. The only thing to his name at this point is a clean t-shirt and some water. And you're afraid of me when the real threat is out there? That's okay. My dignity will remain intact, but your priorities won't.
No, see, you don't get it, buddy.
He starts to splash water on his face and starts to like run it through his, run it over his head or whatnot.
Here's the thing, man. I can be in here and I can be focused on you because I trust the people out there to be looking outwards. And that's the difference. They're there and I know they're there and I trust them. Now, are you going to keep fucking proselytizing at me, or are you going to wash your goddamn fucking armpits so we can get back in there with the rest of the people?
It's one thing. And as he's washing and he puts on a clean shirt that I just don't understand. How the big man with the gun is afraid of the man with a stick. And he just walks past you.
That's because the man with a stick is a fucking asshole. I'll walk out behind. And when I come out, my dear V, you've gotten in our life together your fair share of fucking hard stares from me. You've gotten a bunch of them. Some of them you saw, some of them you didn't see, but you've gotten a bunch of them. The one that I give you as I walk out behind this guy out of the John goes into the history books, because if I had laser beams in my eyes,
I am going to give you the biggest shit-eating ass grin that anybody has ever seen Dr. Vay Victus have in her life, because I can see your feathers are ruffled and somebody besides me did it, and it is making my heart flutter. I have tears of joy in my eyes right now. I'm giving you the biggest smile, like borderline creepy, but the best smile ever.
I go and I sit down and I keep an eye on Morgan.
Morgan, like, after that, he like kind of puts his pack up, lays out his coat. He finds, like one of the cushions from one of the various seats that are there or whatnot, right? Sets it down, and he puts out the little chemical fire, makes sure everybody's fed, right? Washes out his little pot, and he's like, "Get your rest. Thank you, V, for offering me hospitality." And he literally lays there and drifts off to sleep.
I will sidle up to Buchanan and say, one of us is going to have to sleep at some point, but one of us has got to keep eyes on him all night.
Well, why don't you get your ex-wife to do that? Because she seems to be bringing in all sorts of fucking strays. What's that? What's going on? What the fuck's that about?
Look, honestly, go and ask her.
Listen, you need to get your shit together.
My shit's fucking together. My shit's holding together like it's a fucking wrapped by a professional fucking Christmas wrapper at the mall, all right?
You sure? Because in the van, you look like you were somewhere else. Is there anything you want to tell me? You want to talk about?
Look, the world's gone fucking crazy. It's full of walkers. Everything's falling apart. And the biggest pain in my ass is my ex-wife. So, that's what I got going on.
All right, well.
I don't agree with what V did bringing him in, but, if I go and try and chew her out, somehow it's going to be my fault and I'm going to lose the argument. So, you're the fucking leader of this outfit. You're the brains of the operation. You go and chew her out.
Yeah, right. I'm going to talk to your fucking ex-wife. Why did I do that? Come on. All right. Well, yeah, we'll do what we can do.
Once Morgan falls asleep, V will stay with him for a little bit, but she wants to talk to Sam. If Sam is still awake, if she's not asleep, I'd like to have a sit and a chat with Sam.
Vay, what's up?
Sam? Hey, how you feeling?
You seem somewhat cheerful almost. What's up?
Oh, I feel I'm actually in one of the most decent moods I've been in a while. You remember when we found that broken down van? It was like that caravan. It was green, and when we got inside of it, they had a cooler in there that had those stale beers, and we just decided we were going to drink them at the camp that night. I feel
they were so
almost
good.
as good. I know. I feel almost as good as I did that night, minus the stale beer. I would be all right with having one now, though.
Yeah, it was the hangover that was. Fuck it. It was worth it.
Worst headache. It was worst headache.
It was worth it though. So this Morgan guy, we're good. Seems
Yes. Something
sweet
about him,
almost.
man, just it feels he's not giving me bad vibes. Something about him just made me feel comfortable, right? Like he would be somebody that could potentially be helpful to us, and he's by himself. Sam, you're a doctor. You know, survival in numbers, right?
Yeah.
There's not very many good people left in the world.
Did he have any information that was useful to share? Or just
Well,
the
he was at
sterno?
Greenhaven. He was at Greenhaven before it was overrun. He did confirm that it was overrun. He said some raiders had punched a hole in the side of their wall and it had gotten overrun. It didn't. I don't know if it's the same raiders that invaded our area. He didn't see the woman on the truck. He said just some run-of-the-mill rednecks, and I quote. But he said he talked about Midland a little bit and said that it was he had heard it was still a semi-functional place, and that's where he was headed himself.
You got to hand it to these southern rednecks, don't you? I mean, in this world when everything has gone to shit, people have died en masse. Supplies are scarce. And they're rolling around in their goddamn pickup trucks, having the time of their fucking lives, terrorizing communities.
I mean, could be worse, I suppose.
Could it?
It could be.
Like having to put down one of your own in the night and lie to the kids about what happened? That kind of worse? Fuck. I'm not doing so good, V.
I could tell. You've been a little off today. But listen, it's not your fault, right? Like, you didn't ask to end up with the doctor role on your shoulders. You didn't ask for any of this, just like none of the
I'm
rest
supposed
of
to
us did.
save
And
people. I'm supposed to help people. I'm supposed to cure wounds and
That's
stitch
right.
up
And
cuts and
if one of the puppies in the litter has rabies, then you have to put it down to make sure the other puppies don't get that, right? It's the same concept. There's nothing we could do to save somebody who had been bitten, and if we would have left it go, it could have been potentially more dangerous to the rest of the group, including his own children.
you know, Vay, usually your puppy analogies would be disturbing to me in this context, but somehow you know how to put a smile on my face even in the most dire situations. I appreciate that about you. Thank you. We all got to do what we can, and you're right. You're right. It was something that had to be done, and it'll probably happen again, but it's what we do. That's why we're still here, right?
It is, and I will stick the blade in every single person that I need to, so that that's not on your conscience. Like, don't worry about it. You didn't do it. And if people are giving you a hard time about it, then we could have a little chat.
Yeah. I just think about my father when I have to make those tough decisions, and he always told me that in the chaos you got to find the order. And I think one more night, all of us together, she kind of scans the sleep-in kids and Morgan and the other survivors in the group. Our strength lies in our unity, I think.
Mm-hmm. Everybody in this group, every single individual in this group has had to make a decision that post or pre-fall would have been considered questionable or bad, but in a state of survival, we have to do what we have to do. And It's not like we're surviving a nuclear fallout. It's we're surviving a man-eating zombie apocalypse, and things they're not easy. Nobody here has not done something since the fall that would weigh heavy on their conscience. So 0 people, every time they point one finger, they've got 3 pointing back at them. They have nothing to hold themselves in a higher regard than you do.
No,
that makes sense what I'm
get
saying
that.
to you?
No, I get that. It's the children that's the hardest. But look, it's fine. We're gonna make it through this like we've made it through everything else, and focusing on tomorrow. And if Midland pans out, Midland will pan out. It's not if, it will. I don't know.
Yeah,
how I'm
at
gonna
least
sleep
something,
tonight,
right?
but
There's something good. There's going to be
let's
something
hope.
good to happen in Midland.
Let's hope something falls into place for us, because fucking A.
Well, hope is a fickle mistress. Let's not hope too hard. But
Well, you know what they say
something good's
about
gonna
hope.
happen.
Yeah. Something good. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah. And hey, look, the kids, by the time they grow up and get married, they'll have a completely different outlook on the whole situation. It's just rough now because they're not really processing it. But
Look,
it'll
if
be
you're
okay.
going to be promoting marriage to any of the people in this place,
Oh, look, I'm actually not. It's just a thing my mom used to say when I'd fall down and scrape my knee. By the time you grow up and get married, you won't even remember it.
I love you, Vay. And she just reaches out and gives you a big hug.
I'll give you a hug back. And then I'll pat you on the head like, all right, kiddo. And then go over to my resting place, my own self.
Samantha will settle into her ratty sleeping bag that she has and just kind of stare up at the ceiling of the welcome center, tracing the cracks in the plaster, trying to fall asleep.
You all begin to drift off to sleep. The night progresses. Shiv, do you do anything particular on your watch?
I think I'll just be keeping an eye on this new character, really, and just thinking of what to do next, and to make sure that we don't take any more strays. How to get around that problem.
Fair enough.
Sit there brooding for a little bit about the situation.
All right. But nothing more? You're all alone. You're the only one awake.
Probably keep an eye out on the road from time to time.
It's a quiet night. Other than an occasional walker you see stumble through, no one comes. No one else is seen. Your shift ends. McCready, you have the final hours before daybreak. Do you do anything on your shift other than keep a paranoid eye on this new edition?
I'm definitely doing that. I also want to keep an eye outside. Obviously, I'm gonna kind of get up and sort of do the rounds and kind of look around. Do I want to do anything else? No, I think no, there's nothing else really I think I want to do right now. It's just gonna sort of wait for people to start waking up and whatnot. And when I see Buchanan's awake, I'll go over and talk to him, but I'm not gonna wake him up early. I'll let him keep his beauty sleep going.
The dawn comes. Morgan wakes up on his own. He walks before everybody else. It's the quiet of the morning. He gets on his gear and he walks over. I'd like to say thank you for the hospitality, but not quite sure I'm welcome. Regardless, you see him pull out a map and he looks at it for a moment and then he tucks it back in. Not sure what's in Midland, but it's not where I'm going. Probably should part ways.
Where are you going?
North.
Moving to Canada?
Heard call on a radio not too long ago of a little town called Perdition. Gonna go through there and hopefully make my way to Washington.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we heard of Perdition too. We're just not sure. Sounds like it could be maybe a hoax.
Hope isn't a hoax.
No, but hope is often the worm on the hook.
He looks at you, smiles, pats your arm, and says, I hope you find hope one day. But I know there's a group making their way to Washington. Might want to give it a shot.
Washington, like Washington, D.C., Washington State, because I tell you,
DC.
Yeah.
What's in Washington, Morgan? What have you heard?
He turns and he looks and he just says, hope. That's what's in Washington.
Yeah, they were trying to sell us that bullshit too before all this started.
Well, if you happen to make it that far, and he opens up the door and he says, if you make it that far, just tell Rick Morgan sent you. And he walks out the door.
I'll watch him go for a bit and I'll be like, you strange fucking guy, buddy. But happy fucking trails. You believe in that, Sam? Hope? Washington? Someone's
I'd
gonna
like
wreck
to.
the fucking monument, get the Senate going again.
I'd
You
like
know.
to think that there's people somewhere working on some sort of a solution. I mean, to think that there's hope is comforting. But I don't know. I'm with you. I think hope is something that can be easily manipulated to deceive people. I prefer that we make our own destiny. If we're going to rely on hope, let's create our own reasons.
You're talking like a true founding father.
I don't know about any of that. He seemed
Look,
pretty convinced.
Yeah, well, I don't know how much of what Mr. Morgan's tale here we should take for scripture, but
I think I'd walk out with Morgan. I'd like to give him a hug before he leaves.
Okay.
And I want to slip a can of cream corn into his pocket when he goes as well.
not the cream corn.
Oh, first the Vienna sausage, now the cream corn.
As you catch him just outside, he smiles, he thanks you, and he says, I'd travel with you, but I don't think it's safe. Not for me, anyway. I'll tell you this much. He'll learn to let go of the hate. And he hugs you. Be safe and always sleep with an eye open.
Hey, Morgan, before you go, can I ask you a favor?
What's that?
If you get to perdition before I do, can you tell Mia I'm coming for her?
He gives you one of the warmest smiles you've ever seen. He nods. I can do that.
Thank you.
And he just walks off. And as
the amount of lines start going through fucking McCready's head as he's watching all this, and he's watching, and he just chomps down on all of them because no need throwing oil on that fire. Just keep your mouth shut.
As Morgan walks off into the tall grass, off into the woods, it's time for a break, I think. And we'll find out when we get back what happens when they get to Midland.
Hell yeah, Kurt. Hell yeah. You guys, thank you all for hanging out with us in the chat. This is a pretty intense game with a lot of fantastic role play and tension and some amazingly sweet moments. If you want to be sweet and help out kids, we have a fundraiser going on right now for Games for Love, which is a fantastic fundraiser that helps to bring hope and joy into children's lives when they're in extended stay care at hospitals by introducing game systems and gaming therapy so kids can have a good time, take their mind off of their injuries, and give them a chance to heal. We would love it if you have the means, if you would join us in supporting them with a $5 donation. I'm putting some information in the chat. For every $5 that you donate today, you'll be entered to win one of our session giveaways, and you'll be entered to win one of our grand prize giveaways on the 12th. And our session giveaways today is a digital content item from CZRPG Publishing, who produces third-party 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons content. And we've also got a Hero Forge standee to give away at the end of today's session, and a Hero Forge 3D plastic printed mini. So we've got some great giveaways lined up for today. If you want to get in on that action, please donate $5 or whatever you can give to help support Games for Love. Thank you so much, you guys. We will be back in just a couple of minutes to see what happens in the next portion of our Walking Dead mini campaign. Thank you so much. Kurt, awesome stuff, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. We've got more Walking Dead about to kick off. And if you need a reminder, because I know you do, we're doing a fundraiser for Games for Love. We would love it if you could help us out with that. We are so dang close. We're at $3,405.69. And we are closing in on our $4,000 goal, you guys. We are so damn close. If you can help us out with a $5 donation, that'd be fantastic. Every $5 earns you a giveaway ticket, so a chance to win some sweet loot at the end of this stream. We're giving away some CZRPG 5th edition D&D content. We're giving away a Hero Forge acrylic standee printed with your personal custom mini, and we're giving away a Hero Forge 3D plastic printed mini of your custom mini. So lots of good stuff that we are giving away at the end of this session, and a big pile of loot that will be given to everybody, given out to people who have donated on the 12th. That's tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Phoenix and I will be sitting down to draw some winners. So $5 gets you a ticket for today and a ticket for tomorrow. And I think that's it. Kurt, if you wouldn't mind taking it away.
I mean, I don't want to take it away, but we can.
Take it away. Take it away now. I just want to say that it's awesome that our total is $3,405.69. Because if we reach our goal, it's going to be $4,000.69. And I think that's fucking
Giggity.
that nice.
So,
Classy.
our friends,
Let's-
having decided to take a rest at a rest stop before reaching Midland, had an unexpected visitor through the evening. Someone who brought information, but more a deeper look at themselves. Some hopeful, some suspicious, and some very antagonistic towards his presence. Upon concluding a safe sleep, he left, but not without parting words for those who need them the most. Wishing them luck, Morgan walks off into the woods, continuing his own journey. And you all gather, bound for Midland. The cool breeze lets in a small fog as the autumn weather sets in the farther north you go. Gathering your remaining supplies and loading up into the van, Daryl suggests that perhaps one or two of the survivors stay back here with the kids. No sense in putting them at risk, right? Besides, he's pretty sure he can get this old Buick running, and he kicks at one of the cars. Looks to be in one of the best shape out of all the others, but it's not turning over. But he's pretty sure he can get this one running, and having a second vehicle isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Might be some fuel in some of those cars too.
We can work on getting it out.
Good idea.
I'm just gonna look at Buchanan like,
Don't know if that's the best idea. But I trust you.
Well,
We all trust
you gotta. Dale looks at Buchanan. You got a better idea, Hotshot?
No, unfortunately not. So just be safe and take care of yourself and the kids.
So at this point, right, there are 6 other survivors, right? 4 adults, 2 kids, not counting yourselves. Are you going to take any of them with you? Or are you going to tell them all to stay back here, try and get vehicles running while you go check out Midland? Or are you going to try and bring some of them with you?
I'll talk to our conglomerate of 4 folks here and express my concern of the cold shoulder that these folks have been giving towards Sam since having to us having to handle something that they might not really have appreciated at the time. But I don't know if I feel comfortable leaving all of our supplies and vehicular transport with people who I think are going to run off from us at the first chance they get because they're concerned of quote unquote dying in the night rather than the important things.
Do you say that to the other survivors?
No, I'm saying it to Buchanan.
Okay.
McReady.
All right. I'm just making sure I'm tracking who you're saying it to. Okay.
I don't think you're wrong, Vay. I mean, there's safety in numbers. We've stuck together. We should stay together. Do we need another vehicle? Do we need fuel? Yeah. But look, if we get to Midland and it's safe, well, then everybody's together. Everybody's safe. We don't know what's going to happen here while we're gone.
I mean, that's correct. We don't know what's going to happen here while we're gone. We don't know the state of Midland, but we know that it's a fairly decent jaunt to make on foot. So we're at this much fuel in the van
Right.
that we had. So it's like a one shot. Once we get into Midland, that's it. There's no driving back if they don't get a car up and running. So not to be that guy, but I would rather like split the supplies, have a just in case meeting, take what we need, leave them, a knife or two to defend themselves, and prepare to go our separate ways in case they aren't here when we come back.
Look, if we're going to split up, then we should have some place. You got that map, McCready? There should be a place where we have as a fallback where we can meet up in case this gets overrun and they have to flee. I mean, having a plan C, D, E, or F would be good.
I'll hand you over the map if I still have it.
Okay.
What makes sense here? There's a what is this? A river right here? The bridge crossing.
You so past the rest stop, farther up the highway, right? There is a bridge and a river, and you go past the bridge for another 5 miles, and then you're at Midland.
So the bridge, you think?
Yeah, we could meet up at the bridge. I mean, that's a safe midway point for them to be able to at least get to and us to get back to. Cuts the distance of travel in half.
Yeah. I just feel if we go to Midland, shit's wrong, then we're dragging kids there. And I don't know about you guys, but
I'm okay splitting off. I just want to prepare.
That's my thought. My thought.
I just want to prepare for anything to happen, because I feel like they're looking at us differently right now than they were initially, given decisions that had to be made over North Carolina Jeff that is no longer a part of the party. Does that make sense?
Yeah, total sense. I'll look at Samantha and be like, it was a tough decision. You made the right call. And they just have to suck it up. They will have to be in that same position as well at some point. But will they have the strength to do it? You did. That big fucker out there might not.
Thanks, Buchanan. Look, if we're gonna split up, as long as we have a place where we can rendezvous if this way station is overrun, I think that's good. Splitting the supplies and the weapons. I mean,
we're all carrying guns, so leaving them 2 knives is...
I could give them a Molotov as well. That helps.
What about the shotgun?
McCready's not going to let that go.
Absolutely not. That would be dumb on our part, because we're the ones walking into the city. We don't know what's going on there. That would be absolutely dumb on our part.
I mean, what if they have to defend themselves? They're going to fight with knives? I mean, she's looking over at the 4 adults. Do the 4 adults that are not us, do they appear pretty capable in terms of fighting?
Sure, but they're not armed because McCready took all their guns.
First of all, I didn't take anything because I told them to give me weapons and fucking no one wanted to, so I backed off. I don't have any of their shit.
That's very
when
true.
we were in the truck and I said, all right, we're going to redistribute the guns. You were like, they look at you like they're going to kill you if they, and so I was like, all right, fine, keep them.
They've got a goddamn frying pan and a couple of kitchen knives. Look,
that's That's more or less what it is. McCready has all the guns distributed amongst you four. They literally have kitchen knives and a frying pan. So that frying pan has quite a kill count.
Well, they're not getting my 6-hour 9mm, so they can get out.
What gun do I have? I don't have one on my character sheet.
You took the revolver, didn't you?
I
Yep,
took the revolver. Did you?
No, I
Did you
didn't.
want the
I was just gonna say, yep, I sure did, and I was gonna add it to my character sheet. But no, I don't have. I don't have any handguns. I just have a knife.
I took the revolver. McCready's got
Oh,
the
that's
shotgun.
right. That's right.
Yep.
Sorry, checking my notes here. Yeah, that's right.
I mean,
no, I forgot. McCready took the shotgun, still has his pistol, and then there was a dispersion to where everybody would have at least a gun.
Now,
but
here's the good
McCready's
news, guys, is that Scottish Jeff, a distant relative of North Carolina Jeff, has donated a handgun, or sorry, a loaded weapon through the charity. So thank you, Scottish Jeff, and we have an extra weapon.
Well, I mean, you haven't found it yet.
We haven't found it, but theoretically we will find a loaded weapon at some point.
At some point.
Look, there's a good chance that we'll find something useful down the road. All right, it's settled then. They get to keep the frying pan and the kitchen knives.
So what do you say to them?
Good fucking luck. We'll tell them, like, Samantha is not a planner or a tactician. She's kind of looking at the rest of them, but she's like, if things go south here, our best option is to rendezvous at the river crossing.
Yeah.
Once we know what's going on in Midland, we will come back and get you. We're going to make sure it's safe.
Okay. Well, are you going to at least leave us a gun?
You're going to have to talk to McCready about that one. And she just walks away.
Like, Dale looks over, right? Like, at McCready. Like, we got kitchen knives and pans, man, my guy. Like,
well, I don't think you should be splitting off from us. But everybody else seems to think it's a good idea, so who might argue? I'll take my M1911 spare clip. I'll give it to him. We're making a mistake, but, you know.
well, how about this? You come back, and I give it back.
I could tell you till I'm blue in the face we're going to come back, but we have no clue what's going to happen out there.
He looks around, and then he looks at you and the slightly graying hair you have. And he says, one thing I've always known to hold true. Never underestimate an old man in a profession where people die young.
Yeah. I think the rules of engagement have changed a little bit on us, but tell you this much. If there's any way, shape, or form that I can make it back, regardless of what the fuck's in the way, I will make it back. You keep those kids safe. You don't do anything stupid. You don't take any chances. You fucking err on the side of caution. I'm not leaving my gun in one extra clip. No.
He takes it and he tucks it in the back of his pants. Victoria comes walking over to you, Samantha, and she opens up her pack. She hands you 3 rolls of gauze and some iodine. And she says hesitantly, in case you need it.
Thank you. She gives her a hug.
And she kind of smiles. She accepts the hug and smiles. She takes the kids back inside. Buchanan, what do you do?
I'm watching all this unfold and I'm just thinking, is this the right decision? But I don't really want to take kids to Midland at this moment in time. So he's standing there watching it and just gives. Is it Dale?
Dale's the survivor. You guys
Yeah.
that you guys have been interacting with the most.
Yeah. I'll just give Dale like the nod of like good luck and take care.
He looks at you, right, with a, I don't want to say knowing look, but a look of, don't fuck this up.
Cannon sort of gets like the look is like kind of mutual. Like, yeah. I'll let him go.
You guys load up. The van sputters to life, takes off. In the rearview mirror, you see the kids and the other survivors. You're not 100% sure you're going to see them again, but that's just how things are. But you're positive you're going to see them again. You're hopeful you're going to see them again. Short time later, you drive over the bridge. Walkers line the bridge on either side, slowly meandering about. Thud, 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 as you take out a few. A few more miles down the road, you start to see a small town. You see white smoke coming from several areas, several buildings. You see black smoke coming from another. So you drive into town, there's walkers everywhere, but not in great numbers. Here, there. Individuals. But you know it doesn't take much for them to start gathering. As you drive through the town, you start to see some hastily made signs. No words, just pieces of splinterboard with arrows drawn on it.
Do we see any non-walker activity?
Not at the moment.
Are the roads, are there obstacles, roadblocks in
There
other
is,
directions and kind of thing?
Yes, everywhere. No matter which direction you look, there's destroyed cars, burned out cars, walkers in the road, bodies. There's downed light posts.
I imagine sorry.
I was gonna say, as you're driving through town, looking around, you even come across some hastily erected barricades. And after too much longer, you come across some very well built barricades, military barricades.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As you continue to drive, following the signs, you see sheet metal, steel, haphazardly built into a wall and a gate with a tower. A serpentine barrier area is in front of you. You drive through and you stop. You hear the cawing of birds. This loud noise erupts, and the door jerks and begins to open on a machine. Inside, you catch a glimpse. You see what we would generally refer to as little more than a shanty town, an area that was developed but has since then been subject to overcrowding, people huddling together, making their community tighter, even though it's growing. You don't see people moving about, but fires are burning. Campfires, cooking fires. Trash blows across the street.
Govard Buchanan.
Mhm. Fuck.
Well,
We're out of gas.
Yeah.
we have arrived at our destination.
Looks like we're hot footing it from here, people.
Is there somebody in the tower?
No,
Who the opened the fucking gates?
you see no one in the tower.
Oh, I'm stressed. I am stressed about this.
I mean, at some
Um,
point, we're going to have to get out of this van, yeah?
Well,
Any
that's-
of you wishing to may make a scout check.
We'll certainly do that.
You are all currently at 1 stress.
I'm pretty good at this, too.
I feel that's like a standard.
No. You're only at 1 stress because you drove through a town of walkers. You
Oh,
would
no,
have started.
I was
today.
just saying that it's to be stressed.
Oh.
I think is just a normal state of being.
Yeah.
We need to reevaluate where stress actually sits for us.
Yeah.
2 successes for Samantha.
Okay. Always remember, let me know if you get a 1 on your stress die.
No ones on the stress die, but no success either.
Okay.
Mr. GM,
Yeah.
would like to use a talent, please.
What talent would you like to use?
I would like to use my intuition talent.
Very well.
It says once per session, you can ask the GM about how things in the game world are working and related to get some useful information or suggestions on how to proceed.
Okay.
Now, given Vey is pretty tech savvy, that's her like
Mhm.
main thing. Not seeing anybody in the tower and the buzzer and the gate opening, I am curious on if there was maybe, I don't know, some sort of makeshift pressure plates in the where we drove over or something, a motion sensor, something. There has to be something. I want to know what it is.
As you're looking, combined with your talent, actually, real quick, Shiv, what did
Yes.
you get?
No successes, no ones.
Okay, cool.
Kurt, sorry, I did get 1 success because I forgot I have binoculars, which give me +2 to scout. And
Okay.
I rolled those 2 dice and I got a success out of that.
Okay, cool. All right. So, as you are looking around with Victus's help, and then with McCready and Samantha, you guys notice along the wall there's small little mesh wire coverings. And the harder you look, you notice cameras are pointed out.
What did we just drive into?
Terminus.
Fuck's Terminus.
You never heard about Terminus?
It was something that I heard come through the radio tower. Another settlement had been talking about it to the gentleman Clyde. It was a place where they had described it as a safe haven, right? But it was full of people eating people, and not the kind that we can stab in the head and they die, but like actual people eating people. And I don't really want to be eaten in that sort of manner. So I pass.
What the fuck?
People are fucked up.
Okay, so they've got this place automated by the look of it. They're watching us. So we just need to be careful.
Buchanan,
Well, tell yourself
you,
this. Sorry, go ahead.
Buchanan, can you, diplomat your way into figuring out what the fuck's going on here?
I can try.
Look, just remember
good with
one thing.
people. You got this.
If people are not preventing you from going in, it's because they want you to go in.
They didn't ask us anything.
Feels
They
like a
just
trap.
let us in. Right.
Yeah.
We've got no gas. This van's not going anywhere. We can't go anywhere. So we just investigate this place?
We have no choice.
Yeah, you go first. You are the head of the snake. Go right ahead. March
Samantha's
right
gonna
in there.
open the
Yeah,
sliding door of the van and just kind of pull it open tentatively.
Yeah, and you know what they do to the head of the snake. They
That's
fucking
why
we're-
cut the thing off.
That's why we're asking
great.
you to go first, Buchanan.
Cheers. I really appreciate you guys. I feel really wanted at this moment as he steps out the van.
I'm gonna get out.
Yep, same.
He just sort of walks out, hands up.
Or if they kill you, we'll survive.
What the fuck? Is this about the light thing? We need to talk. As he
Buchanan,
walks.
as you're walking forward, step by step, you begin to hear in the distance that hiss, that moan. And you realize behind you, that door created a lot of noise. Its buzzer created a lot of noise. And you look back down the road behind you, and you see walkers beginning to form. They're a good ways off, but they will be here. Looking back, forward, around, left, right. Hands raised, stepping forward. You hear an unmistakable whine of gears moving. And you look and you find the source of it. And you see a camera tracking your movement as you approach the gate.
Hello. If anybody's there, just want help. Just need help. We've run out of gas. We're just on the road. We're just passing through. We don't want any trouble. Just help.
Do you continue to walk forward?
I'll stop. How far is that camera that was looking at that I've just
It's
seen?
like,
How far-
so like it's up, right, and to the right.
Right.
So like it's looking down on you. Like as the gate moved back and out of the way, right? That because
Okay.
it slid to the side, you can see sitting up on one of the support beams, the camera's looking down.
Okay. Is it moving at all? Or is it just still transfixed?
No.
on me?
It's tracking you as you're
Right,
moving.
okay. I'll just stand very still, keeping my eye on where how far these walkers are away. I don't want to move any further away from my group, and I don't want to get cut off. So I'll stay where I am in sort of the middle between the two.
Is McReady wearing BDUs?
No, probably not at this point. It's been too long, but he'd be wearing cargo pants and work shirt.
I was
Seems
curious to
different.
know if any of your military insignia were openly visible, given we just walked past a bunch of actual military barricades and this is tech following us.
Well, in my
So
mind,
if-
no. It's possible that his baseball cap might be like an old service cap, but
Fair.
it's been so long that he's probably just wearing whatever he's found along the way, you know.
Okay.
So I start to look.
Pretty much
back.
everyone looks like a former soldier now.
Yeah. I sort of look back at my group, like,
You guys, the three of you, look and see Buchanan looking back at you, but the groaning noise, the moans are getting louder as they're growing closer.
From where?
Behind you, down the road behind you, between your vehicle driving through town and the noise of the gate, the walkers are forming, amassing.
Kurt, you had mentioned that there were kind of like shantytown hovels set up.
Inside the gates.
Oh,
So like because the gate is open, you can see inside the gate into the walled off area,
okay.
right? And you see what looks like old turn of the century factory buildings, but also you see a couple of actual houses, and then you see a lot of hastily erected buildings.
And we are sort of in the central
sort of thoroughfare
arena,
type sort of thing,
if you
aren't we?
will,
Yeah.
of this ringed complex.
It's not ringed. It's
Oh.
squared off.
Okay.
So, like, the best way that I could describe it, right, is take your favorite subdivision and now put 10-foot high walls around it
Mhm.
and a lot of cameras pointed out. But more people than what lived in the subdivision now have the appearance of living there, right?
Yep.
So they've had to build hastily new habitats, new shelters, stuff like that.
Got it. So getting back to my original question, then, how are those people reacting? Did they react at all? That
You don't
would
see
be-
any people.
Oh,
So they're watching us
just the
from some sort of
shanties.
command center somewhere. Yeah. Damn.
Buchanan, we got to move. I don't care if we move north, south, east, or west, but we got to move. So make a decision, pick a direction, and let's go.
South. Let's just get out of here.
yeah, I don't like this. This feels like we just rolled ourselves into a trap. Well, we got to find a way out of here. And she's
All
gonna
right,
start
well, grab
walking.
whatever you can from the truck and let's hustle because the fucking walkers are walking.
You're being funneled. You can definitely tell
Yeah.
that.
We're
Mhm.
bullpenned, right? Like that's pretty
Yeah.
much where we're at.
You have to fight your way out through the walkers or go forward.
Or go in the gate. Yeah, I knew it. Oh,
Well, in
You
for
know-
a penny, in for a pound. Grab the
Yeah.
stuff and let's move forward. I mean,
We're not going back. There's no
Yeah.
way we'll make it through that horde.
Do you
Soldiers
guys
grab
going
gather
one.
your, do you guys
Okay.
gather your stuff? Do you guys gather your
Gather
stuff.
stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. As you begin, as you press forward, the camera still tracking Buchanan now appears to be tracking all of you as you move forward. As you cross that threshold, you see gearbox and machines on either side, right, that are controlling the movement of that gate. And at the same time, you see odd metal boxes that say USA on the side of it. As you do and you look, the walkers are closing in. The casing on these metal boxes drops away. And you see large caliber machine guns with massive telephoto lenses on them slide over into where the opening of the gate is at. And your ears are immediately rocked as these massive machine guns begin to open fire on all of the walkers behind you, catching your van in the process
Ah.
filling it full of bullets, and the walker's full of bullets. You just hear that. These weapons were not meant for flesh and bone. These weapons were meant for vehicles and armor. After about 100 rounds from each one of them let off, they retract back the gate. Click, 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 click. As the gate closes behind you. Welcome to Midland. Place all weapons on the deck.
I place my weapons on the deck and I look at the rest of them and go, "You gonna argue with the machine guns?"
Revolver on the floor.
Samantha looks at Vay and then pulls out her hunting knife and sets it down.
I don't really know how I feel about disarming myself.
You really think your fucking handgun's gonna make a difference if they pull out those machine guns again? Just put the gun on the floor, V.
Let's do our best to make some allies here. Right, Buchanan?
Yeah. I mean, listen to your husband.
Look,
Oh
he
God,
has
that was the wrong thing to say.
for a very- that was the worst thing
Yeah.
you could ever
Now
say.
you know it's not happening.
Yeah, no,
V, what are you gonna do with your gun? Put it on the ground.
I'm gonna keister stash it. What do you think I'm gonna do with it?
Oh no.
They'll never check there. With an ass like that?
That's what I'm saying. No, I really am
Put it-
uncomfortable about this.
Just
I
put
do
it
not
down. Just put it down. Just put it down.
should have been nice to the man that visited us last night. Maybe we wouldn't be in this situation. And I will
Well, no, it's
begrudge
my fault. I knew it. I knew it was going to be my fault. I knew that somehow down the line, maybe years down the line, it would be my fault. And
yeah,
it
definitely
is my fault.
It
because
took like
you are the most unpersonable individual I've ever met in my entire life. And I'll take the clip out and I'll put the gun itself down, but I'm putting the clip back in my pocket.
took like a couple of hours before he was blamed.
I need you all to do me a favor and give me a. We're gonna have you all roll scout.
What's our stress level right now?
47.
I would say you're all probably operating at a stress level of 2, with the exception of McCready.
Okay.
Oh,
You want us to
stress
roll
level
what?
2.
Sorry.
Gonna make a scout roll.
I'm assuming I can't use my binocs on this.
No.
3
All right,
successes.
2 damn stress
No,
dice,
no
you say.
ones.
No successes and a 1 on the stress die.
Uh-oh.
One success.
One.
and ones.
1.
I've got 3 successes, no ones.
As the gate is going to close, one walker gets through and lunges at Buchanan as all of your attention is faced forward.
Samantha's gonna like react by trying to grab the walker and pulling it off of him.
The walker makes an attack and he has to make an agility roll first before you're able to interact.
Got it.
Talk him down, Buchanan.
Okay, Buchanan, I need you
Cat calls from
to make
as he's getting attacked.
to make a mobility check.
Agility.
Yes.
Mobility, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of team
Plus-
we're dealing with right now, huh?
Yep. Plus stress, yeah? Plus 2 stress.
Mhm. Yep. You need 2 successes.
Only one. One success.
Okay. Your arm is bitten. Samantha, you may now go.
Yay! All right, I'm gonna try to pull it off of him because I don't have my weapon, right?
Okay.
All right. What am I rolling?
You're gonna roll force.
Force. Oh shit. Okay.
Or
I'm
actually, I'll give you close combat. You can
There
roll
we
close
go.
combat for
Thank
these
you,
stats.
sir. Benevolent and loving game master. We beseech
Butter
you.
him up.
Yep. Come on.
Doesn't work with Kurt. It's immune.
So I got a success, which is the good news, but I also rolled a 1 on my stress die, which is the bad
Oh,
news.
no.
You manage to get the walker off. And without hesitation, the walker falls to the ground and you crush its head in with the heel of your boot. I need you to make a close combat roll for me, please. Samantha.
Okay. I got a success. It was on the stress die, but I have 1 6.
Instinctively, you look around, unsure what to do. And out of the corner of your eye, you spot a glint, a handle. And part of your brain and your training and everything that has happened to you thus far takes over. And you're going to save his life. As you knock him down, pull his arm forward, reach for that handle. And we fade to black as you hear the sound of steel cutting flesh and bone and Buchanan screaming. And that is where we will wrap up The Walking Dead for today.
What the frig?
Look, when I told Buchanan to disarm himself, that's not what I meant.
Oh my god.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Scottish Jeff, there is your loaded weapon that you provided.
Oh, man.
You're gonna have to pop you.
Outstanding.
Bravo.
Hey, Lee.
Wow.
Thanks for dropping in, Lee. Jeez.
Oh,
All right.
no.
Well, thanks, Kurt. Appreciate that.
For
Thanks,
those of you
Kurt.
who are joining us, thank you all for watching today's episode of The Walking Dead. That just felt as a good, that felt great right there. Like, I couldn't have asked for not only a failure, but a messy critical to follow. This is just perfect timing.
Yes.
Oh, yes, that was just perfect.
The cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers, I would say. Good Lord.
The dice provide.
Wow.
The dice provide.
Hey,
That's
and speaking
insane.
of providing,
And speaking of providing.
thanks to everybody who's been hanging out with us, and thanks for everybody who has supported our Games for Love fundraising effort. We had a couple of donations come in from Techie, Woman's Ghost, Wanderers Haven, and Scottish Jeff. Thank you so much. There's still time to get involved with the giveaway at the end of the session here. We're going to draw some winners, and we do have a couple of different prizes. $5 gets you in. If you want to go donate to Games for Love for $5, you might win a Hero Forge acrylic standee. You might win a Hero Forge 3D printed plastic stand mini. or you might win some 5th edition content from CZRPG Publishing. We've got 3 giveaways. And
isn't there
and
something
then,
happening at $3,500 also between you and Phoenix?
what?
Are they gonna kiss?
Are you not aware?
No,
On
tell me.
Phoenix's channel this
Are they
morning,
gonna smooch?
he was saying that if we reached
Do that all the
$3,500 as an incentive, that there would be some sort of swap organized where you would swap and go GM a crew of his people.
Oh, we're
and
swinging?
like
We're going to do some swinging if we hit 3,500, folks.
that's what he was saying. That's what Phoenix was saying.
I love it.
Wow.
So there you go. That's even more incentive, my friends, to
That's
to
$70
give
away.
to-
Well, in
Is that
fact,
all?
It's 69. In fact, it's $69.
Wow.
$69 and
Nice.
like 31 cents away.
It's the Game Master swap for kids. I mean, who can argue against that? So anyways, let's do some outros before we do that, so we give people a little bit extra time if they want to get in on the giveaway. Kurt, where can we find you? Where
Where
what
can
do
you
got?
find
Yeah,
me?
give us some
What are we
outros.
doing? Oh
Yep.
my goodness, outros. That's right. Where can you find me? You can find me here next Saturday doing more Walking Dead because I'm loving it. I'm loving this crew. I'm loving all of it. You can also find me over on Blue Box RPG this Tuesday, where I'll be doing the Walking Dead tie-in one-shot with this story with 4 different characters, all telling a slightly different tale from a slightly different location. And then on Wednesdays, you can find me over on Blue Box, where I do Lore Masters Arcanum. I keep toying around with the idea that I'm going to actually stream from my own personal channel, but I can't ever figure out what to stream because all these people always get me to do all this stuff on all their channels. And I'm always here for it, and I always love it. So you can find me on everywhere else but my own channel at this point, doing various games and RPGs. Just follow me on my Twitters and you'll be good to go. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to stream a video game here before too much longer. What? I don't know, but it'll be something soon.
Well, Kurt, we're happy to have you here for this. This is I put in a request for this, and I'm glad you're able to do it because I love The Walking Dead. I've wanted to play this since I heard about it, so thank you for that. Let's jump over to Shiv. What's up, Shiv?
Hello, yes, I'm the one-armed man. It was the one-armed man. And you can find me over at Shiv, and you can see me here tomorrow, where I run a one-shot with Dave and a couple of other misfits to round out the weekend. So hopefully we can get some more donations in the chat and really get to our target. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Shiv, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to play with you, and I'm really excited to play in another one of your games. Your Fairward Falls was fantastic,
Thank you, sir.
I'm excited for Seeds of Destruction, folks, tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central. Let's jump over to Hooli.
Well, hello, friends.
Hi.
I'm shook to my fucking core right now, man. I'm Hooli. I play games, run games, and produce games over at Heroes and Hooligans, and I am also the production coordinator of Queen's Court Games, an award-winning Vampire the Masquerade podcast called, TANS, the All Night Society. I knew the words I was trying to form up, but you can catch me here, there, and everywhere. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And thanks, BP Gaming, Biggie. Thank you for the donation coming in there. Bleak, what do you got rolling? You got something going on tonight, don't you, buddy?
That's right. We got tonight at 8:00 Eastern. We are doing a Blade Runner game, The Human Abstract. DM Dave here will be in there. Darling Creepshow will be in there. Eric Mona will be in there. And Crombie will be in there. That's the crew that we played Cult with. Always a lot of fun with that group. So that's tonight. And after that, next Thursday, we're back to our Shadowrun. So we're going to finish our Shadowrun game next Thursday here on Guild Superior. That's what's cooking.
I'm so excited for Blade Runner. As a Blade Runner junkie myself, I'm going to be sitting here with all the tears in the rain watching that shit tonight.
And fiery, the angels will fall.
Yo, I'm excited for that. I am excited for that. I can't wait. I can't. I can't wait for that expansion.
All right.
You definitely should go and watch that 8-parter we did with Hooli and with Dave and with Creep. If you want the Blade Runner action, that 8-parter
that was good.
Was something.
That was good.
Let's check it out.
And the Mother one shot, which we also did for charity not too long ago.
Yeah, the Mother one shot
that was
kind of got
fun.
weird. It was fun.
Yeah, that was good. All right, look, we're gonna move this thing along. my friends, thank you all for getting in on this. I need each of the players, so Shiv, Hooli, and Bleak, I'm going to put this in our group Zoom chat here. I need you to each type that into the chat. That's going to select our winners for the giveaway. Hooli, why don't you start? Let's get yours first.
Well,
You want that on Twitch?
Yeah,
No.
roll it
Yeah,
in the Twitch chat, please. Yep.
Wow, good job, Pools.
Jesus,
That's all right. You
Hooli.
got this. You got this.
I don't think it's roll a d14 either. I
An
think it's roll
8.
1d4.
No,
Or is it roll a
it's-
d14?
It's D14. So Scottish
Wow.
Jeff is our first winner. Scottish
Woohoo.
Jeff.
Awesome.
You
Hey.
have the opportunity to select CZRPG content, Hero Forge Standee, or the Hero Forge 3D Plastic. Bleak, why don't you go ahead and roll yours, sir?
I rolled a 6.
Wanderer's Haven is the second winner. I don't know if they're still around, but we
No,
will.
you had to go to
No, they
stream.
ducked.
Yep,
So-
we'll
Yeah.
reach out to you and let you know about that. And Shiv, if you could do the third one, please.
Here we go. A 7.
Oh, that's also Wanderer's Haven. So, all right, Wanderer's Haven won 2 of the giveaways, and Scottish Jeff
Nice.
won the third. So, thank you guys very much. Yes, 3D Hero Forge Mini. All right. Thank you guys. We will be back tonight for more fundraising, and tomorrow for more fundraising with some fantastic games. Great people still involved in some gaming. So, come on over and join us. We're going to go ahead and raid into. You know what? Let's raid into Wanderer's Haven and let them know that they won some stuff over here in the giveaway. I'm going to start the raid right now. We'll see you again next week for part 3 of our 4-part Walking Dead story with Kurt. Kurt, genius, man. So good. Thank you.
You're having fun.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit of fun. See you guys. Have a good one.